My facilities director, Frank Gonzalez, met with over a dozen superintendents in the Santa Clara County, Sunnyvale, many.
And what were the outcome of those
They
meetings?
didn't have space.
Okay. All right. So you now have 98 students?
98 students.
And your projection next year is how many?
200.
200. And you have wait list or applications or
Applications
hopefuls?
and enrollment forms.
And how many is that?
Where are we at today?
What is that?
80 applications and 62 returns.
So 140?
Mm-hmm.
And you're hoping for another 60 more. I mean, counting that 100% of those students will return, you think you'd be able to?
We're expecting that 62 of the 98 will return.
Right. What I'm saying is 62 and 100% of applicants who's submitted your applications return.
Well,
you're still thinking you'll recruit 60 more on top.
Well, what will most likely happen is that we'll recruit more than 60, but some of them won't, and some of the ones that have given us applications won't. You see what I mean? Like, so we have a bunch of applications now. Some of them will stay, some of them won't, and we'll keep recruiting. But
Yeah.
the one thing that we do know is that next year will continue to be a deficit year for us.
Okay. So I'm looking at your presentation, page 8.
Okay.
And you have enrollment showing in the previous years.
If you want to, whoever, I have the clicker. Cool. Thanks. Maybe. Maybe. I think it's.
So what I wanted to ask you about was, it shows a significant drop this year.
That's right.
And I can understand with the facility being inconsistent, I can understand that.
Yeah.
So what I don't understand is year 2017 to 21.
Right. There it is.
What does this like picture of sunshine mean?
Things get better. It's basically that our enrollment goes back up to 500,
With how?
through recruitment and through the new facility.
Okay, it just happens?
No, we recruit the students. See, look at the presentation in front of you. When you look at 2010-11, we have 100 students. And then you look at 11-12, we have 200 students.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved into a facility that was a stable facility, and we had no trouble jumping from 200 students up to nearly 500 students. And it stayed consistent. It even stayed relatively consistent in 14-15 when families knew we were going to be in our last year in that facility. Then we lost our facility, and it dropped down to 100. We're going to be moving into a new facility that's going to be a stable facility. And when we're in
And how would you do that? So that part, you now have 98 students.
Correct.
You have 62 returning, if 100% of them are returning, and you have 80 applications so far, and it's
Correct.
April, it's mid-April. And so how do you get to a stable facility that would enable you to get to that sunshine?
Right. So next year is going to continue to be an excruciatingly difficult year for us. I'm not gonna say that that's not the case. Next year is going to continue to be a hard year. We're going to have approximately 200 students. We may have as few as 150 students. We may have as many as 250 students. in the current facility where we're located, we can grow up to 250 students in our current physical space.
I understand all
Okay.
that.
Now,
Just tell
the
me
following year-
from that difficult point,
So
how do you get to that sunshine?
So the following year, we will be in a long-term facility. And in
How?
that, by purchasing land and building that facility.
How do you get that money?
So we have strong financials that are well documented. We have cash in the bank that
We meaning Magnolia, Santa Clara, or Magnolia CMO?
Magnolia CMO.
So Magnolia CMO is going to foot the bill and build a facility for Magnolia, Santa Clara?
That's correct. And then
Is this a donation, or is this a loan, or is this a, what is it?
So how we're going to do it is the same way that all charter schools build their buildings, which is we will take out a loan, build the building, and then pay back the loan using a percentage of the per pupil dollars every year on an ongoing basis to pay for the building.
Are you taking out a loan from the CMO?
Well, we'll use the CMO for the down payment, the cash from the CMO for the down payment, but we'll use a regular debt financing for the construction of the building.
Okay, I don't think I'm understanding this. So could I ask staff to look into this very aspect of how they're going to finance the building, what agreements they will have, what loans that they're getting, and is it in writing? Do you understand what I'm asking for you to look for?
And we can give you examples of how we've done this throughout the state.
I don't want examples. Clearly, I don't want examples or anecdotal stories. I want specifically what's in writing to make this happen. Because I'm not concerned about how it got done in LA or wherever with other Magnolias. I'm just concerned about Magnolia, Santa Clara, and how it's going to survive, how it's going to make that transition happen from this little square down to 2015 to 16. I'm looking at this sunshine utopia. So I want to be convinced that you're going to get there. So I don't want examples. I want documents. I want agreements. I want MOUs, whatever have you.
Okay, so let me ask you can I give you an example of something that I can give you and you can tell me whether it would suffice? If I were to give you a letter that's a guarantee from a financing banker company guaranteeing that they would pay the $10 million that we need to build our site, would that suffice for you?
And then, yes, partially.
Okay.
And then I would like to know how you're going to pay that back.
Okay, we can do that.
So how you're going to be solvent in this whole process, because Magnolia has not, in my eyes and my perspectives, it's never been solvent. It's always been problematic. And talk about anecdotal stories, things that I hear in the community, and I do hear, I get stopped by parents, and I get stopped by ex-parents and saying, thank you so much for voting against Magnolia. Here's what happened to me. So it's a long way for you to convince me again, and
it's fine. We're happy to be persistent and do what you need.
Black and white, what's written and signed, legal document. I don't want sunshine. I don't want clip arts. I want real stuff.
We'll get it for you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay.
We would also be honored, President Song, if you would visit our school. We would love to have you.
I will consider.
Thank you.
Okay, if no other questions, I will make closing public hearing comments. Having received comments from staff, Magnolia Science Academy, school districts, and public, the board now closes the public hearing. The board will reconvene and act on this request on May 4th, 2016. Any further deliberations by the board will be held at public meeting in accordance with the Brown Act. This hearing is closed. interest of time, we will move right on to action item